Hey there, this is Derek Henry with XLEV8 Consulting, and in this how-to video we're going to talk about the Sort Picker. Now, just like other pickers in the add-in, this one's going to present you with actions when you run it. So first you want to select the data if you're going to run this first option. Now the default keyboard shortcut for this one is Control Shift and E, and it's going to give you a couple of options for sorting. Now, you can set your default, just click the box right there after you set a letter that's going to correspond to one of the ones that has an action you want to perform. As you can see right here, I've done Q for quick sort. Now, quick sort is a separate macro you can save and run as a keyboard shortcut if you do it a lot. I like the sort picker because it makes it one of the quick options, and it's kind of like having more than multiple shortcuts in one. Now, what you're going to do is enter the column that you want to sort by, then an underscore, then the direction, and the direction being an A or a Z. So if we want to do something really basic, you say A underscore A, that's going to sort column A, and then ascending. Okay, so if you're seeing right here off to the left, very basic, you want to have selected the entire data set, including the headers, when you run this. Or if you're already in an auto filter range, it knows that you're in there, and it will go ahead and do that for you. So you do not have to select the whole range if it's got a filter applied. If you don't, like I have right here, there's no filter applied, then you would want to select the whole range, enter it like this, and press OK. Notice how it's going to sort descending based on that first column. Now if we want to do it again and add multiple levels, maybe we want to sort by state, that would be column D, then ascending. Maybe then we want to do column B, the store number. Maybe then we want to do column A. Okay, maybe we want to make that descending. Okay, it's going to apply multiple sorts when you separate them by a comma. Now, if you wanted to save that sort, something you're doing all the time, that same thing, column A, then B, then C, or D, then B, or whatever, enter what you're going to enter, like I've done right here, right? A, then B, then C, and then add a space, then the word default in all caps, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. So if I was to set this just like this, it would show up in this blank custom entry right here, and then the next time you run it after that, it's going to save it. So let's just override number 4 here. Okay, remember it's A, B, and then C. It'll run it, and then it will save it for the next time. So you're seeing right here, we just set this one number 4. So if we want to do that again, we would literally just click 4 and enter. So you can see how quickly you can run sorts that you've done before. Okay, so that's the first option. Now the second option, what if you wanted to sort horizontally? You might be thinking, why would I ever want to do that? Well, if you have a side-by-side view like this sheet has, and you want to sort things by row 6 or row 7 or something, instead of the columns, you can actually sort the rows. Now, there is one caveat to doing this. You see how, when we select this whole range, it has a named range applied. It has to start with a prefix sort underscore horizontal underscore range. Now, trust me, it's worth it for the effort here, because a lot of times you want to do this when there's a whole bunch of data and you want to sort the whole range based on a particular data point. So as an example, let's say we want to sort horizontally by this dining room metric. We would do option H when we run the sort picker, and it'll say, do you want to do descending or ascending? A lot of times you want to see best to worst, so we're going to click Z for descending, and notice how the entire data set is going to sort based on row 4 there. Or if you wanted to sort it just based on the store number, if you want to just have it in alphabetical or numerical order, you can run it again, option H, and then A instead for ascending. And you can also set your default here which direction you want to go to. Just click the little box just like any other picker. And it's back to numerical just like that. So very popular if you want to sort horizontally. Now let's say you have a big file like I've had before. So this next sheet here, this is one brand and another brand, etc. Let me collapse some of these extra columns so you're not distracted here. I had a bunch of template files like this where I was constantly having to sort many different blocks within the file, probably 15 to 20 different ranges that I named, and then we had we sorted them one way or another. Like in this case, you'd probably want to sort a descending based on better, worse, or something else. So how we can do that in bulk, if we're going to do it over and over again at some point when we're done, right? We can run the bulk sort option. So that's option B in the sort picker. So we press B, it's going to do a couple of things. The first thing it's going to do is it's going to see if the sort ranges sheet exists with an underscore in the middle. Okay, if it does not exist in a file, it will build it for you. It'll prompt you in saying it did that, and then it'll say, in all the columns here, it tells you how to set that up. I'm going to put that in the very front of the file here. So you would set it up, you'd put the range name, then the sheet name, then which column you want to sort on, then what direction, and then you do that for up to 3 sorts. Okay. Now I've already filled this out, so I'm going to copy and paste it. You can see what I've done here. You name the ranges, what sheet are the ranges in, what column, and in what order. Okay, and it tells you, kind of guides you through this with the cell comments here. So I'm going to paste that. And what you're going to see is the end results. We're going to run this again. Remember, when you run it the first time, it checks to see if the page is there. If you run it again, it will process whatever's in that sheet. Even if it's blank, it'll tell you, hey, you forgot something. Or if there's an error, it'll let you know. If everything is right, though, it will go back and forth. It will process the sort based on what you're telling it to. Might take 10, 15 seconds to run based on how many sorts that you have asked it to do. But just think about how much more time it takes to do this manually. And you get in the middle of it, you might forget which order you've done it or which sheet you're on or something like that. Thinking once and applying it over and over again, that's the idea of leveraging settings sheets like this. It'll tell you how many were done, it'll give you a little prompt, and it will highlight in green each of the items that it's sorted. Right? So if you go back here and you see all these, all of them are sorted the way that we wanted. Right? So column H descending in all of these ones that say bar mix. So column H descending, and a lot of times when you're building the file and you're putting labels in place, I like to put the little arrow. That's just a particular font with a Q. That way it's obvious to the reader which way things are sorted. Maybe even highlight that or give it a different font color. But it sorted it for us here, and then everywhere else. So I have this little group, and then we had this little group, and then down below, and then other sheets, the same thing. So it saves a lot of time running it like that. Now the last one we're going to do, this is actually kind of neat. Let's say you have a whole bunch of sheets in one file. You have really at least 10 probably, or it could be any number. Let's say you want to sort them alphabetically. Maybe they're numeric store numbers, or maybe they're locations, or they're people's names, or whatever, and you want to sort them to make where it's easier to find them. Okay, so we would run the sort picker. Again, that's Control Shift and E. And then W is going to sort the worksheets alphabetically or alphanumerically. So if we press W, it prompts us which way. Do we want to do it ascending or descending? Let's do descending this time. So it's going to go through, it's going to figure out which order the sheets need to go in, then it's going to move them for you, just like this. And it'll tell you this is a passive prompt in the lower left hand corner. So Z, X, Y, X, and then etc. all the way through. Or if you wanted to run it again, and you want to make it ascending alphabetical. Same thing. It will then put them in an alphabetical order. So if you have a lot of sheets, clearly that's going to save a lot of time than doing it manually. It'll tell you when it's done, and there you go. So if you want to sort horizontally, you want to sort quickly, you want to sort a lot of ranges, or the worksheets, the sort picker can save a lot of time. Thanks for watching, and have a great rest of your day.